reason for the war in Israel. This little strip of water between Egypt and Israel is what's called the Suez Canal, and it accounts for about 12% of the world's GDP and about 5 to 10% of the world's oil distribution. Now, in 2022, Egypt made about $8 billion in transit fees from the Suez Canal. Not bad for Egypt, but you notice didn't sit well with the United States, France, the UK, and Israel. The other thing about the Suez Canal is that it's very narrow and it only goes one way. So for 6 hours a day, ships can only go this way, and then for another 6 hours a day, ships can only come back this way, which economically costs time and money. Then there was an incident back in 2021 where a ship actually jammed the Suez Canal, which cost about $10 billion a day. Not only that, but the United States Pentagon said that the Suez Canal traffic impacted U.S. military vessel movement. And you know they can't have that. So what was the alternative? It's called the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which plans to be made cutting through Israel as an alternative route to the Suez Canal, and also will be wider and deeper than the Suez Canal, which is important because the only way that trade can get from Asia to Western Europe is if it cuts through the Suez Canal. Otherwise, they would have to go all the way around Africa to get to this side of Europe. Now, guess where this Ben Gurion Canal Project is being built through? That's right, Gaza. I'm no conspiracy theorist, but you do the math.
We will fully...
I was balling.
Our advice to the Americans is to immediately stop the war in Gaza and implement a ceasefire, otherwise there will be hit hard.
A ceasefire is not in sight for now, as the U.S. has blocked attempts to achieve it at the U.S. Security Council, and Israel has said it will not be bound to any ceasefire because it is intent on wiping out Hamas. So as Iran's warnings have fallen on deaf ears, both by Israel and the U.S., we can see some movements from the forces affiliated with the resistance axis in the region. In recent days, the number of attacks targeting American bases in the region is on the rise. U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria have been attacked with drones or rockets at least 24 times in recent days. On Saturday, Iraq's An-Nujaba militia group, which is a major arm of the resistance front in Iraq, announced that they had launched a drone raid on a U.S. base in Syria's Al-Hasaka province. This, as Iran says, if Washington and Tel Aviv press ahead with their, quote, genocidal actions in Gaza, the resistance will turn the region into a quagmire for them.
Americans are drowning and floundering next to the Zionist regime in the swamp they created. And the messages they are sending are out of fear. They are worried and want to extricate both themselves and the usurping regime from this.
Iran's rhetoric completely matches that of other resistance forces, including Lebanon's Hezbollah, which has recently announced its readiness to expand its firepower against Israel, and even any U.S. forces that would be deployed to the battle. But that's not where the resistance axis ends. Yemen's Houthis have also declared their engagement in the war, already firing some long-range missiles and drones towards Israel. This, as Tehran has repeatedly warned that if Israel does not stop its operation in Gaza, a broader regional tension may erupt, and the signs of such a conflagration are beginning to emerge.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem.
Here's the real reason for the...
I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. New in the gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is just another lesson through the Spirit. It's an update and current events as to the war that's going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Okay, which pretty much you got Syria and Iran, okay, which is being backed by Russia, and the fact that the West, like this video went into how they matter of fact what it says here, let me fast forward it real quick. It was some very interesting numbers that he put out there. Give me 1 second, brothers. Yep, it says Egypt's Suez Canal Authority announced Wednesday at an all-time revenue record, earning $8 billion in transit fees in 2022. Now, I remember at a point in time, a lot of those ships got stuck over there in that canal, which pretty much led to a lot of shortages and a lot of price hikes here in the West, because we know that this particular region, which they deem the Middle East, which there's no such thing as the Middle East. Okay, this is part of what they call Western Asia, aka the Middle East, but there's no such thing. Okay, Esau came up with that term Middle East for control purposes and to assume the trade and markets of that particular region, man. Okay, because right now it's literally like a free fall for resources because the West is being pushed out as far as the OPEC nations is concerned with trade on the dollar with oil. Okay, so America, basically, they have to figure out how to gain some type of control in the Middle East in order for them to remain relevant as a superpower, because even scholars, even typical Edomites have stated that America has really become a third world country. Okay, when you drive around this country, you see homelessness at an all-time high, rents are skyrocketing, businesses are closing left and right, and the list goes on. Okay, so this shows you that this once so-called great superpower, because it was never great to the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but this power structure is dwindling, and the Most High is bringing a power, and he's crushing the reed or the power structure of America, man, and soon the entire West. Okay, so let's hear what he had to say again.
Likely cost time and money. Then there was an incident back in 2021 where a ship actually jammed the Suez Canal, which cost about $10 billion a day. Not only that, but the United States Pentagon said that the Suez Canal traffic impacted U.S. military vessel movement. And you know they can't have that. So what was the alternative? It's called the Ben Gurion Canal Project, which plans to be made cutting through Israel as an alternative route to the Suez Canal, and also will be wider and deeper than the Suez Canal, which is important because the only way that trade can get from Asia to Western Europe is if it cuts through the Suez Canal. Otherwise, they would have to go all the way around Africa to get to this side of Europe. Now, guess where this Ben Gurion Canal Project is being built through? That's right, Gaza. I'm no
So they want to go through it. All right. And they don't have time on their side. So they have to escalate a war. OK, because according to sources, January 1st is supposed to be when BRICS nations go online with their currency. We have to wait and see. But even the Iraqi government even mentioned that they're not going to deal in US dollar anymore, man. Dollars anymore. So World War III is heating up, man. OK, and they're going to have to reinstate a draft, because for the simple fact they don't have enough recruits, or better yet, mentally or physically equipped soldiers here in America, or citizens to become soldiers to fight a war. Okay, America can't afford a war at this time. They can't afford it. For one thing, they don't have the money, even though they print the money out of thin air. Second of all, they don't have the resources and they don't have the people. Okay, so this is why they always depending or putting their faith in these particular these not a reconnaissance team, but these puppets like ISIL, like the particular terrorist force they've been arming to infiltrate certain lands. They have to set up how can I say, not hitmen, but they have to set up like a counter military force that's being backed by rebels, which is being funded by the West, in order to carry out their bidding, because they're spread too thin in order to get the job done. Okay, and this is going to lead into utter abruption of the U.S. dollar, man. Okay, because when you look at the shit in the West, when you look at the people, the protesters, the Palestinians, is getting out of hand. Okay, it's to the point that Palestinians are literally spraying government buildings. They hopping out of whips. They hanging out of the roof of cars, man. They're spraying cop cars. You know, they marched on the White House Saturday, you know, to declare a ceasefire. But as we knew, Netanyahu, you know what, or Netanyahu small hat, or no, I'm sorry, Netanyahu JOO, basically stated that we're not going to declare a ceasefire. Okay, because now time is against them. Okay, and they have a financial interest in interest in resources in order to steal and extol the people for their goods, man. So this is the reason why you're seeing this shit happen in the Middle East, man. Okay, and we're gonna get a couple of precepts on that, because it was a statement that they mentioned as well, that now you have united the entire Arab world, because you have what they call the United you have the UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates. Okay, you have the Palestinians, which is Ishmaelites. You have the Saudi Arabians. Okay, and you also have Elam or Elam, okay, which is a Hebrew as well, but they're mixed and mingled between Ishmael, man. Okay, so all these Arab countries and all these Muslim countries are coming together to defend against the West, and mainly you small hats, man. And this is all backfiring on you people. Okay, you thought that you can sit up here and kick the can down the road and throw a rock and hide your hand, but now this thing is being busted open. And we will see a war, okay? And we will see a dollar collapse. And we will see a global economic collapse, which is going to accelerate the institution of the mark of the beast, man. Which by that time, the war in the Middle East will be already on 10. The only thing it takes is for somebody to shoot the missiles after that. And shit is bye-bye America. All right? So this is the book of Jeremiah 49. And I'm going to start at verses 19. It says, I will come like a lion from the thickets of Jordan. And it says, leaping on a sheep in the pasture. And I will chase Edom from its land. And I will appoint the leader of my choice. For who is like me and who can challenge me? Or what ruler can oppose my will? Right? Because this is all the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, gathering these nations together to gather in the Middle East, to fight over land, resources that really don't belong to them. You know, like I was at this little, we had like a little work thing today, a little outreach thing. And this nigga woman, she showed us a picture of her daughter. And her daughter, coincidentally, her father is Palestinian or some shit like that. So she was kind of going into the whole concept of what was going on in the Middle East, like she knew something. And I'm like, that ain't even their land. You know, did she rebuttal? Oh, that is their land. I said, how is it their land? I said, that land don't belong to Palestinians, okay? Palestinians are not even Arabs, okay? Those are Hamites, man. Look up the concept or look up the ancient lands of the Philistines. Then you will understand who the Palestinians are, okay? But see, this is what happens when niggas think they know shit, when they don't know a goddamn thing. Then she was like, well, yeah, we're the original people of their land. I'm like, I just said that. Okay, but she was like, we all come from that particular land. I said, you got to understand that the Lord gave portions of land to people. Okay, and that land is our land. None of them belong there. Not even the fucking Palestinians. So what are you talking about? You know, but like I said, every nigga want to be a prophet now. Like homeboy that was breaking down the whole Gaza Strip and what they plan to do it to open up a route for better trade. Funny how he know all that, but yet he's not out on YouTube preaching that he's a Hebrew Israelite, you know, but it is what it is. But it says, what ruler can oppose my will? But listen to the Lord's plan against Edom and the people of Teman, as the scriptures say that the wise men of Teman, okay, the wise men of Teman, which is you Germans, you don't have the answers, man. And you don't have the technology or you don't have the inventions to get yourself out of this third world war, okay, because each and every last one of you Edomite nations and you Arabs, okay, you Hamites, all of you are going down there to be destroyed, and all of you are going in slavery, man. Okay, but it says here, matter of fact, let me go to the King James Version. I don't want to butcher it. There we go. Yep, it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he had taken against Edom, and his purpose is that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. Surely he should make their habitations desolate with them. And who's the least of the flock? Okay, these small hats here, man. This guy right here. This madman right here. Listen to this.
Investigate what it happened. Our war against Hamas is a test for all of humanity. It is a struggle between the axis of evil of Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, and the axis of freedom and progress. We are the people of the light. They are the people of darkness, and light shall triumph over darkness.
You hear what this man said? They are the light and those people are the darkness. Well, both of you are in darkness, man, because the Lord is not dealing with either one of you. And you're far from the light. This guy is, there's so much corrupt. This guy is so fucking corrupt, man. Find out that I believe his particular forces, they're exempt from like military duty or some shit. Like he has his own particular platoon or something like that. Something that the brothers was kind of going into. I don't really know a lot of history about this guy outside of what they put on him on the news. And me, quite frankly, I don't really have the patience to even listen to this dude. But nonetheless, man, this guy is abruptly evil. And this is a corrupt, this dude is hella corrupt, man. And Biden knows that. The whole entire Western regime knows that. But they have to back the small hats no matter what. Okay? Because in back of Biden's mind, I know he's like, man, they gonna get us in some shit. But hey, you got yourself into it, man, because this is the Lord's plan. Okay? But this guy is a straight demon, man. Ain't nothing righteous about this. You can see his countenance. This guy's a demon. All right, let's listen to the rest of it.
Israel.
Citizens of Israel, October 7th was a very dark and black day in our history. We will fully investigate what had happened at our southern border, the border with Gaza.
You did it, motherfucker. Like, you the one that started it. Okay, what you mean investigate? If anything, the world is investigating your ass. You did this shit, boy. Them fucking Palestinians ain't did none of you. They ain't even got the man or the firepower to really even go head up with you, man. Like, Israel has pretty much like the strongest air force, or one of the strongest opposing air forces or air game in the Middle East. So who the fuck is really fucking with them? And they get all their support from the West. They're completely funded by America, man. NATO, the EU, they're funded by these people. This is their allies. So no matter what, hey, if Israel say, well, look, we got to go to war with the entire world, America, they have to back, they have to go. Okay? Even if it isn't for the benefit of the people, they got to go behind these people, man. And this is what we're reading. It says here, surely the least of the flock should draw them out. And we're seeing that happening with the small hats. Okay? But this guy's going to try to say they're the tribe, they're of Amalek descent. No, you're an Amalekite, man. Okay, you're the chief house of Esau. You are Amalek. Okay, don't try to put that on those Palestinians. You are the Amalekite. You are the chief house of Edom. That's you, man. Okay, you're the devil that the Bible talks about. But that's the devil trying to put his judgment on everybody else because he's been running from it, man. Like, you're caught up, bro. Get over it. You know? But it says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, and at the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea, because this destruction is going to be global, man. When a so-called white man go down and once America is destroyed, that's going to be a televised event, man. Okay? While you got that war fighting in the Middle East and those missiles are shot here to America, those other nations are going to publish the destruction of Babylon the Great. Or if they don't have it on camera, they're going to definitely report it on their news clippings. You're going to hear it. Oh, my God, America was just destroyed. Literally, everybody's jaws are going to drop. Eyes are going to be glued to the TV. People are going to be running in fear. Okay? And that's going to usher in the second coming of who you call Christ, which his name is Yahweh Shai. It says, behold, he should come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of woman in pains, man. Okay, and when you go down, this goes into the prophecy of Damascus, which we're seeing happening in the Middle East. But nonetheless, Yahweh Shai is ushering this battle in the Middle East through the Most High Yahweh, man. All right. And like they made a comment, you have united the entire Arab world. OK, so this is the book of 2 Esdras 15. And I'm going to start at verses 28. It says, behold, a horrible vision and an appearance thereof from the east. And where is this war being fought? OK, in what they would consider the Middle East, which is Western Asia. OK, because believe it or not, Israel doesn't really sit in Africa, though they claim that it sits on the northern tectonic plate of Africa. Israel, if you really be honest, it touches Asia and it touches Africa as far as the continent means, but it's really in the land of Asia. Okay, and if you look it up, which continent is Israel in, it will say Asia. Okay, matter of fact, let's do that because I remember I did look it up before, but let's look it up. What continent is Israel located in? Asia. Bingo. Okay, it says Israel stands in the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay, the crossroads. When you think of a crossroad, you think of a cross, you think of north, east, south, and west. So it harbors all these particular countries or lands. Reason why this particular region here is one of the most profitable when it comes to trading, oil, resources, whatever you may need. That's one of the most prominent lands, okay, outside of Venezuela when it comes to oil. But it says geographically it belongs to the Asia. It says Israel stands at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa. It says geographically it belongs to the Asian continent. And this is where they get what they call the Asiatic black man. And it says it is part of the Middle East region, which there's no such thing as Middle East. In the west, Israel is bound by the Mediterranean Sea. Lebanon and Syria border to the north. Jordan to the east. Egypt to the southwest, and Red Sea to the south. So it touches all those continents, but geographically it is in the land of Asia. Okay, because when you look at Israel, you have the Mediterranean Sea, and also you have what they call the Gulf of Aqaba. What is it? Aqaba. I can't read that. I can't really read that down there. But you still have a land that separates the West Bank from the particular land of Israel, man. Okay. Let's look here. This is not a good map. You got Suez. Okay, you got Cairo, which is in Egypt, which is in Africa. But Israel was technically on the next continent, though it touches. And to be honest with you, everything was connected at the beginning. And when the Lord created, everything was connected. It's called Pangea. You know, that's why the map looks like a particular puzzle piece, man. Because if everything was to come back together, it'll fit back together in perfect unison. You see? And believe it or not, this one particular land, it's bigger than that. Really, the whole Israel or our land, it expands here to Saudi Arabia. You got Iraq, you got Jordan, you got Syria. Technically, this whole land here, not just this baby ass strip that they're fighting over. Okay? But anyway, it says, it reads here, it says, behold a horrible vision in the appearance there from the east. It says, where the nations and the dragons of Arabia should come out with many chariots, which is military vehicles, okay, fighter jets, Black Hawk helicopters, and the multitude of them should be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all that which hear them may fear and tremble, right? Because now the Arab nations are being united, okay? It says here, also the Khomenians, okay, which they embrace Islam, which I believe those are the Sunnis, if I'm not mistaken. You have Shiite and Sunnis. But it says also the Khomenians ranging in wrath should go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power should they come and join battle with them, and should waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And when you think of the Assyrians, you think about the Edomites or the Americas, man. Okay, because we understand that missiles are going to be shot from that part of the world, and they're going to reach to this side of the world. And it says here, and then the dragons shall have the upper hand, remembering their nature, as if they should turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Then these shall be trouble-bled and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemies besiege them, and consume some of them, and all their host should be in fear and dread and strife among their kings. But behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they look very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. And they shall smite upon one another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood should be from the sword into the belly, man, because this is going to be a thick war, man. Okay? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has commissioned the nations to go to war, man, for the controversy of our people, the true Israelites, which is you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, so the time to repent is now. Okay, the Most High is getting ready to turn this thing up, and me personally, I don't really see that I don't really see it slowing down no time soon, man. Okay, I don't see this war in the Middle East getting to a point that they're gonna make some type of peace treaty, because it's already coming to the head. And even if they did declare peace, the West will never declare peace, because, like I said, they have to remain dominant in the world. And the fact that BRICS nations is getting ready to do away with the dollar, that's going to put America in a third world perspective, to the point they got to do something quick. So they running out of time. They got to make moves, man. But anyway, I'm going to end it here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And with that, shalom. Shalom.